Okay, YouTube, welcome back to another episode. This week is exercise 16A, I think, which was engine failure. So we are trying to simulate an engine failure and looking at options and what we can do to land. Bit of a ropey lesson this week because I hadn't flown for 2 weeks and it felt like I'd forgotten everything I've ever been taught. So yeah, fair play to my instructor Julian at this point, who had patience of a saint with this lesson. So let's skip ahead and we'll get straight up into the air to have a look at the lesson.
Yeah, ready? Nothing seen, nothing heard. Great, brakes off. So, we're pretty well done the runway, maybe just a tiny bit of a knock. But there you go, see the windsock there? Tiny bit of a knock there. Yeah, nothing really. Tiny. Okay. What are you looking for? So, mind the gap. Yep. You know what to do. Beautiful. Flaps up. There we go. Start to throttle back a little bit before we go screaming at the circuit if we're not careful. That's why we're doing 80. But do this so we can just gently come up to 600. Yeah. We'll turn downwind. Why don't we use a little feeder check? So fuel pump can go on, off, leaving the circuit. Radio, CHP traffic, Golf Papa Hotel, departing the circuit to the south. Engine, DSP is good. Direction south is going to be that way, and altitude we could set. A bit low in the circuit, and we can turn gently if it's clear. See, under the wind. Turn gently out of the circuit. Gently turn, because you've got other traffic arriving, so you don't want to blindfold yourself with a steep turn. Gently, there you go. And again, if it's all clear, you can start a gentle climb. It's still actually below circuit height here. You've never got up to 600 feet. A gentle climb. A cruise climb, because it's a gentle cruise climb. So cruise speed is 60, 70.
Oh, 70, sorry. I'm so used to everything being at 60.
Yeah, but this is a cruise climb at 70 knots. Yeah, a little bit of moisture in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see ripples in the crop or ripples in the lakes in the wind. But just that thing of vaguely going, we took off on a westerly runway, we're going, which way is the sun? Well, normally the sun's in the south, so the wind is from this side.
Yeah.
If I'm pointing towards the sun, then the wind's on this side of me. And when you do your freedom check, you do direction, there's a really good chance to go, well, we're going this way, which means the wind's coming from the left side.
Yeah.
And you constantly factor that in, then at least when the engine fails, you go, oh, we're going to turn downwind, or we're going to turn into it. So, let's get up to, I'll just be able to squeeze this tower base, 1900. So we've got 1,900.
We're almost there, aren't we?
Yeah, that's about as much as we're going to get out of this, isn't it? So we've got this nice big chalk field underneath us.
Yeah.
If you have control, Andy,
control.
Let's turn, and at 60, let's glide towards devices. First throttle, we'll turn and glide at 60 towards divisors. There we go. And we'll just see how far we can get at 60 into wind. There is actually a little, oh look, there's a little runway there. See that there? There's a little grass. Aim for that then, see if we can land. Oh, great, you know, it's only a mile or two away. 60 knots. Let's see if we can make it.
So at this point in time, he's trying to get me used to picking out potential landing spots in the event of an engine failure. So we're picking areas with low grass, into wind if possible, and yeah, we're just kind of seeing how the plane glides and trying to measure the distance.
Yeah. This little hangar in front of us, or whatever that is, a barn, but yeah, no, we're not making that.
We're not making that, are we?
No.
Okay.
So in this instance, we were a good distance away from being able to reach the target runway. But as the lesson progresses, my ability to gauge a potential landing site does improve, thankfully. One of the big worries for me was how, if you're directly over a landing site, or a potential landing site, how do you lose altitude and get into the pattern, and how do you get into your crosswind and your base and your final leg, which Julian goes through later, so that's a good part of the lesson.
Reduce your rate of climb by maintaining our cruise speed of 70 knots, but reducing the power. So there you go, power and altitude, cruise climb at 70 knots for one when we're not screaming up towards the cloud base.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
It's amazing that having a few weeks off and not covering some of the stuff that you've learned 5 or 6 hours ago in terms of flight hours, how quickly the sort of muscle memory disappears, and you know, even basic stuff like climbing and turning required real effort from me to get right, which was a bit of a nightmare, I think, for Julian at this point.
Got it?
I think it might be right underneath us.
Right, well there it is.
Oh, sorry, it's there.
There you go. So we were trying to use our cruise climb up to 19,
not tinker along at 80. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. Right. So let's turn around. One line. Keep it jam. Let's see if we can squeeze that last little bit out of it. There we go. Probably about as much as we're safely going to get, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, keep coming around. Look around over your shoulder, back towards the hills, that big chalk field that we came around from. So here we keep coming around, keep coming around, keep coming around, keep coming around. Keep coming around. Right, we were over by that big chalk field, weren't we?
Yeah.
Out of it fastly. Okay, close the throttle. Glidey at 60. So now we've got the wind up our tail.
Yep.
60. Ah, there we go. And from there was no hope in it. Well, wasn't a hope in hell we were going to bring it back round into wind. 60. There we are. Wasn't a hope in hell that we were going to make the airstrip, was there? Let's see how we're doing in terms of making the field. In terms of a downwind glide as an interwind glide. 60. Thank you.
Lovely and peaceful, isn't it?
There you go. 60. And look, never in doubt, was it? You know,
No.
Here we are back here with more than 1,000 foot to spare. So the idea of let's turn downwind, you'll have many more big options.
Yeah.
Yeah, by turning downwind. That's certainly true, isn't it? Look at that, 1,200 foot. So there we go. Lovely. Just turn away from the buildings, please. Remember the 1,000 foot rule?
Yep.
Climb away. Back out towards the airfield. So that got us there with 1,200 foot to spare. 1,200. having asked you not to call in for
Sorry,
hundreds,
yeah.
1,200. Turn back out towards devices and our little airstrip. There he is. Now, the other option we could use was minimum sink. Oh, it's windy now, isn't it? When before it was really quite windy. Now, less so. So the idea is we're going to parachute down.
Okay.
And let the wind assist us as best we can. And we'll see whether minimum sink improves the figures. Become a lot more interesting, don't they? As I say, we sort of start taking a lot more interest in, sort of like geography lessons.
Yeah.
Charlie, Golf, Charlie, 0 Foxtrot, downwind right,
Okay, so once again,
runway 24,
We're right above it now.
right above it, so let's turn downwind.
Go throttle.
Not yet, we started pointing downwind, didn't we? And then we'll have a look at the turning around the corner. So keep us, there we are, round the corner, round the corner, round the corner, round the corner.
tight right base 24, Vista, visual glider.
Turn back towards our big fields. Over there. 1-8, give or take. We're losing a little bit of height to turn there, bud. Want to make it a consistent thing of it. Okay, kill the throttle. Grab one stage of flap, put your thumb on the trim button all the way to the top, and we'll slow it down. Now look what's happened to our rate of descent. Suddenly goes to zippity nothing. Now hold it back to maybe about 45 knots. 40, you can see with 45. See how we're squeezing lift out of the plane?
Yeah.
Squeezing lift. Just working it, squeezing it. There we are, going back towards our big fields. Use every time you get a little bit of lift, you can squeeze it, work it, squeeze it. 45 if you can get it. 45. There you go. See, we're just blowing along like
You've got a lot more time than you think.
And look, see how we're getting carried along like thistle down in the breeze?
Yeah.
And here we are, back at our big fields. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Barely lost 300 feet. Look at that. Let's see how far. Just keep going. Oh, there's a nice field. Look back there. Can you see? It's into wind. It's got nice stripes going this way.
Yeah.
See? So if we were looking at keep going down the side of the hill here. There we are. Maybe actually the fact it's got some tractors working in it or whatever, it's not always usually a bad idea, because if you actually have an engine failure, the fact that there's a couple of guys there will come over and lend you a hand and maybe make you a cup of tea or something. So come off a little bit. Don't get too close to the field. Airspeed, there we go, nice gentle. Remember we did that low speed flying? Okay. So our aiming point might be literally where those guys are. Well into the field.
There's a pylon in the middle of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is it? Or is that just the grass? I don't know actually. Oh, there's a pylon, but it's not
exactly.
carrying anything.
Okay. But can you see, look how far we've come?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got miles and miles and miles. Now, drop your nose. There you go, you can start to trim it forward again. And then we can start thinking, can you start to see keep turning for the tractors? Keep turning. Nose down, airspeed, 60, airspeed, looking, turning, airspeed, 60, looking, turning. Okay, so looking, turning, looking for the tractors, looking, turning. There's our pylons going off to the side, so we're well clear.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it on this side of the field, go round. 500 foot forward.
Yeah.
But
So
that worked?
yeah, no, I get you. Because I thought, we've got all that height and we're above it, which is great. But
Yeah.
how do we get it down? So that is our. We've got time for a crosswind, a base, and a final on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of time, and we're going to land on a field where there's guys saying, "You all right, mate?" Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's brave aviators. Just suppose you could get a cup of tea and eat up to the biscuit.
Yeah.
What's up? There you go. So you can see that. Anyway, well done. I have control. So that airspeed might well be sometimes slower than 60.
Yeah.
Sometimes faster than 60.
Yeah.
But always thinking about our airspeed, making it appropriate.
Just holding up for a while though,
See how that's working? And we just do that, and we can look into there. Where's the tractors? Can you see them? We'll keep looking, keep turning, keep turning. There's my tractors, there's your tractors, keep turning. At any point, we can always lose a little extra height, grab some second stage of flats, maybe a little side slip in the turn, or whatever, you know. Always ways of getting it down. But you can see that got us safely from all the way over by bloody devices. On a day with no cloud. And we drifted all the way back well past all the barns.
How many miles do you think that was?
It's going to be like 6 miles.
Right.
Out of, barely we started at 1,800 feet. didn't we? And that was altitude, that wasn't even height above the ground.
Yeah.
That's probably, 1,100 foot all told. So, minimum sink and turn downwind. Right. So, we're going to do more engine failure stuff, but kind of interesting is just this initial setup.
Yeah.
So, in the initial setup, we had the idea of, is it better to turn around smartly to get downwind, get on with it, or is it better to do a smooth, gentle turn and be much more efficient and waste less lift in the turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give a little experiment. Here we are, all set up again, nice and trimmed, 1,800 feet.
Yep.
So what we're going to do,
Control.
you have control, we can left or right, I don't care. Probably going to be easier and smoother and more efficient if you go
Thank you very much.
to the left.
Call on there, Tom. Thank you.
Okay, so when you're ready, close the throttle, and we'll start a very gentle, very balanced, efficient, gentle turn, smooth, gentle. That's quite a steep turn.
It's quite a steep turn.
Okay. Let's set that up again.
Getting used to it without power.
Okay, so let's climb back up, back towards devices. And lad, back to 1A. Back towards devices. 1A, no. All there we are, so sort it all out. 1A, 70 knots. When you're ready, you close the throttle.
Yep.
You start a nice, smooth, balanced, gentle turn round to the left, trying to make it as efficient as possible so you lose
No altitude.
you see, so okay.
And then definitely go for Charlie, 25 to 2.
There you go. 60.
Is that better?
Well, when would you normally call a 30-degree bank turn? What sort of point are you looking for there?
No, I totally forgotten.
Remember we use these points around the windscreen?
Yes.
So, when we said let's do a really gentle turn, you're actually doing more than our normal 30-degree bank turn. So, there we go anyway. Keep turning, back towards our fields. So we started at 1.8.
We're now, we
Well,
are.
we're not pointing at the fields yet. By the time we're pointing at the fields, we're at 1.4. Okay, climb away. We'll do a nice climbing turn at 6 speed back towards the risers. So that was us trying to be as smooth and as efficient and gentle as possible.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's probably about as smooth as this plane goes, in fairness. I think it's.
Ooh! Whoosh! Your man, we said your man. Hello. Thank you. 1A, there we go. back towards divisors. There we go. 70 knots. Okay, and this time, what we'll do
Taking a right turn towards Victor.
when we're close the throttle, let's get round smartly, stick and rudder, you know, still a balanced turn, but let's get round smartly to turn downwind.
Okay.
So when you're ready. Yeah, we'll get on with it. Let's turn downwind, let's turn downwind, let's turn downwind, let's turn downwind. 60.
Trying.
Looking for your fields.
Yeah.
There we are,
We
look, 1.6.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
Yeah, look at that, it's much better. Now, pop in one stage of flat, slow it all down, start, and then look at that, you see? That's better, isn't it? That's more efficient. So the answer
Yeah,
is
we got
don't,
100 feet.
at least, you know, we can feel we're, and so it's better just get on with it. If you decide to turn downwind,
Get on with it.
get
Yeah.
on with it. Okay, flaps up. Lovely. Okay, climb away. So, if I can control just for a second.
Yep.
There's pylons, we're calling the valley, aren't they?
Yeah. All over the place.
Yeah. All this time you've been flying over them.
I know, you never thought about it.
You never thought about it.
Pretty
Thing
good
is,
attempt on tail.
no offence, but as an instructor, you think about it because chances are, if there's an engine failure, they go, "You have control, Junior," and you go, "Oh, thanks." Gee, thanks, but so yeah, it's normally your problem. So you end up thinking about it. Right. There are actually a couple of little runways out here down near Stoke. What have you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Directly below us. Yeah.
Turning left.
Right, but the thing is, we're too high to get on that one, aren't we?
Yes.
So if the end was to fail now, you have control. Maybe we'll definitely pop in one stage of flat, because we're definitely going to make it, but we're too high, aren't we? But we're
Yeah.
definitely on a base leg, we like this.
Yeah.
So, what we could do is imagine a 45-degree line extending out, which would probably go, I don't know, out just short of the village there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we can fly out, thinking about that cone of 45-degree line, so we don't want to go outside that cone. So fly along, and it gets to a point where you start to go, you know, get your head out of the way, Junior, but even with that, you go, I'm starting to lose sight of my aiming point.
Yeah.
And when you go, don't like that.
Now let's turn into it.
Then turn, get on with it. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, we just learnt that. Yeah.
Let's turn. And let's put another base leg back in.
Oh!
That way.
I get ya.
It's still too high. Airspeed, Andy. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think? Still a bit high. Well, let's go
Another
past
base.
it.
Yeah.
Now, we're going a little bit lower, but we're a bit closer to that cone. Now coming out maybe by these buildings, yeah?
Yeah.
So we don't want to go past the building. So again, what do? We turn again.
Focus our aiming point.
Turn. Airspeed in the turn, Andy. Turn. Another base leg, but tighter in.
Yeah.
What do we think? Maybe still a bit too tight. Well, let's go past it. Okay.
Yeah.
Airspeed not too fast. Not too slow. 45-degree line. Let's turn again. Airspeed. Turn. Keep turning.
Yeah.
Now let's turn back in. In. Now the nice thing is, because you're not going too fast,
Yeah.
now you can grab second stage of flap. Okay, now get your nose down, and we're going to land absolutely comfortably on the strip, aren't we? Nose down, down, go round. Keep some speed on, climb away. Positive climb, one stage of flap. Go. But you should actually keep your nose down, keep some airspeed on.
Yeah.
Because you can ask them to stall it 40 foot off the deck.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about that.
it together, but then, yeah. So it's just a series of ever tighter, not tighter turns, but
closer and closer base legs.
Yeah.
And we just ladder them in tight.
Yeah.
You see that? And then it just became a beats
Exactly.
and turns going, just gradually gurgling our way down the funnel.
Yeah.
There we go, let's head home. So, now we're organised. Let's go back and flaps up now. Cool.
What airfield is that?
So, 60 knots, 60 knots, 60 knots, 60 knots. There you go.
Second stage flap.
Please. Trickle of power, because you've got the wind. It's going to slow you down. And let's turn in all five. Airspeed. Thank you. Let's see how the wind is slightly from the left, isn't it? Yeah. There you go. PHP traffic, Golf Papa Hotel, final 2883. Airspeed, it's a windy day, if anything we can come in. No, it's got nothing to do with power settings.
Oh.
It's got to do with attitude. So it's a windy old day, so we can even come in near closer to 60 than 50. Bags of runway. Feet as much as you can. So you're probably right, just fly it all the way to the ground. Okay, there's bags of runway. Bags of runway, you don't have to scrape it over the first piece of grass. You can go that little bit deeper. Fly it down to the grass, fly it down, get it under control, get happy, and then close the throttle. There you go, don't touch. Don't touch, keep it straight with your right foot. That'll add. Gently on the brakes, and let's head over to on the brakes, and off to the right hand edge of the runway for me. Right hand edge of the runway. Good, there's a little courtesy we do. We
Yeah.
move off to